I would certainly be in favor of allowing states to use the bankruptcy route.
I have my Porter Paints hat as I'm going to paint a picture about Mitch and money. Tonight I will connect the dots and weave a story about Mitch, money, intrigue, and the NRA. A couple of years ago I watched a TV series titled The Americans. The central characters were Russian citizens brought to America to spy on America. Fast forward to 2016. Is this fiction the truth? In 2018, Maria Butina, a 30-year-old gun rights enthusiast, was the first Russian citizen convicted of a conspiracy to act as an unregistered foreign agent of Russia within the United States. She was released in October 2019 and deported to her hometown in Siberia. I understand it's really cold there. She burst onto the scene when she connected with the NRA and started working to help the NRA connect with gun rights in Russia. She got involved with an American lobbyist, Paul Erickson, who is now in jail for other matters. From an article by Anna Masoglia, the NRA disclosed spending on foreign fundraising for the first time in the gun rights group's history. While the NRA's disclosed spending on foreign fundraising makes up only a small slice of the operation's total outlay, the actual amount of money brought in by that fundraising is unknown. The NRA is not allowed to use foreign funds to influence elections, but as a 501c4 nonprofit, it can continue to spend millions of dollars on political activity without revealing its funders, how much foreign money it takes in, or what the money was spent on. Prior to reporting $92,000 on foreign program expenses and $24,000 spending on foreign fundraising in 2018, the NRA's previously disclosed overseas activities were limited to offshore investments in Central America and the Caribbean, along with occasional trainings or events in that region or in Europe. Do we want American-based organizations and American politicians receiving funds from foreign governments and or potential pass-throughs from foreign governments to politicians? Do we want foreign governments messing in our elections? I think the 2016 election and the aftermath holds the answer to this. Here are some NRA campaign contribution figures from Open Secrets, the Center for Responsive Politics. In the 2020 election cycle, NRA had contributed over $264,000 to Republicans and a measly $2,600 to Democrats. Of those funds, $206,000 went to the NRA Victory Fund, $30,000 each to the National Republican Congressional and Senatorial Committees, $16,000 to the Republican National Committee, and $10,000 to Mitch. Most people will remember Jim Brady, who was President Reagan's press secretary until he was wounded during an assassination attempt of Reagan. The Brady organization continues work to pass universal background checks. Here's a Mitch-related nugget from the webpage. The NRA has contributed $1,267,139 to Mitch over his career. We heard from an earlier Moscow Mitch Monday contributor that a meeting with Mitch would cost at least $25,000. I would guess that $1.2 million buys more than $25,000. So what does Mitch think about guns? From a Washington Examiner op-ed by Charlie Spearing in 2014, does Mitch McConnell own a gun? Of course Mitch McConnell has shot a gun as a matter of principle. He's not interested in helping the left bully people into revealing what protection they may keep in their own homes. This was a comment by a McConnell campaign spokesman. After the Marshall County, Kentucky school shooting, where 2 people were killed in 2018, Mitch said, "I don't think at the federal level there's much that we can do other than appropriate funds." McConnell is not in favor of gun control laws. He just wants to throw money at the schools rather than addressing the real problem. He thinks school security is the most likely way that schools can stop shootings. You would think, given how much it takes to get on an American plane, or given how much it takes to get into courthouses, that this might be something we could achieve. But I think we can't do that from Washington. I think basically it's a local decision. He added, "It's a darn shame that's where we are, but this epidemic is something that's got all of our attention. Does 1.2 million buy dedication to the NRA? Seems like there is another epidemic going on, and at least he finally stepped up and said masks are a good thing. But he continues to remain silent about the current administration's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. On our Moscow Mitch Monday presentation last week, we heard from Congressman John Yarmouth. He said that the House had approved a universal background check measure, but Mitch has not brought the bill forward along with almost an additional 400 others. Congressman Yarmouth believes that Mitch doesn't really care whether or not the bill would pass. He only cares about protecting senators who would have to face constituents if the bill is considered.
Universal background checks on gun purchases. This is an issue that has 90% support in the country. 75% of NRA members support that, and we passed it, and Mitch is just sitting on it. And quite frankly, I don't think Mitch cares about the issue one way or another.
I've said repeatedly that the key to all this is people voting. Too many times, only 45% of the registered voters vote, which indicates that you only have to win 23% of the vote. This means that 77% of the registered voters did not vote to elect our leaders, our politicians. We need voter turnout in November. We need mail-in balloting in November. We must vote to retire Mitch on November 3rd, 2020.
This partisan impeachment will end today.